Equal Copilot might be the most powerful Excel function ever created. As a Microsoft VP and CPA working in Excel more than 40 hours a week for the past 10 years, I've compiled 7 use cases where Equal Copilot will save you hundreds of hours in Microsoft Excel. Let's start with this first use case. You know how painful it is to clean data. So look at that. I have some names here, and then I'm going to type in the following: Equal Copilot, and then I open the parenthesis. Very important that you put the quotation mark right there. And then I will just paste my prompt and read it out loud. I will say clean these names, remove punctuations, symbols, numbers, and extra spaces. Fill the replacements with real letters to make real names. I will close the quotation mark here. I will do a comma, and as a second argument, we can refer some cells. So I will refer A3 in this case, and you can see David Fortin, that's my name. It's going to clean it up, and it's not perfect. The formula is not perfect. You will see it's calculating, busy, and I will drag down my formula in just a few seconds. Here we go. Copilot is calculating, and here we go. You can see most of these names are clean, except the very first one of each line. It's not perfect, but still very cool use case to clean data. By now, you might have opened Excel and typed in Equal Copilot, but you don't see anything. As of the moment of recording this video, you need a paid Microsoft 365 Copilot license to have access to Equal Copilot, and you also need to be in the beta channel. I have put the instruction on how to join the beta channel in the description below this video, and I have also put this Excel file so you can follow along. Next tip. This second tip is pretty basic, and now I will want Copilot to generate some data for me. So I will just type Equal Copilot, and I will say generate a list of 10 states of the United States of America. And here, I don't need any other argument. I don't reference anything else. I will press enter, and I see, you can see it's too fast. I see this very useful if you want to have a list of 10 VC or, whatever, 10 sports, generic stuff, very useful. And then in the second column, I will grab the acronym from these states by referencing. Equal Copilot, I will say, give me the acronym of this state. I will just reference one, comma, and I will select California here, close the parenthesis, Copilot is loading, and it should give me the results. Grab the lower right-hand corner and drag my formula down, and here we go. Voila! All right, on to the next case. So the third use case that I want to show you here is not the best, okay? Let me show you what I want to do, and then I will give the little disclaimer. So I want to transform these dates as year and quarter, but I don't know the real formula to do that. So I will just ask Copilot, Equal Copilot. I will say transform these dates into the YYYYQQ format. Okay, and then I will reference the date as my second argument. So Copilot will, most of the time, get this right, but this is not the right way to do so. Indeed, the Equal Copilot function should not be used to do any kind of calculation. Generative AI isn't great at calculating. You should not do Equal Copilot, do the sum of these cells. That's not the way to do so, right? Same thing, when a formula already exists. In this case, we can get a formula to get the quarter, you divide by 3, etc. It's a little bit complex. You should use the real formula because yes, generative AI, Equal Copilot, it's super interesting, it's super cool, but it is not always reliable, right? It's generative AI, but it is dynamic. So if I change here 2026, you will see my column B, or my cell B3, I should say, will change to the Q2 of 2026 in just a few seconds. Here we go. So it's a real danger where all of the data will re-upload or reload whenever you get back on your workbook. So what I suggest is using the real formulas. You should always use the real formulas. And if you don't want these formulas to be dynamic, the Equal Copilot, then you select your data, Control C, right click, and then you paste values, right? So you get rid of the formulas and it doesn't always reload the formula, right? So super interesting. If you don't know what is the formula to find the year and quarter based on the dates, click on the Copilot button at the top right and ask it in this pane, okay? It was just to show you how magic this is, but don't always heavily rely on it, please. The fourth use case is a real use case inspired by me a few weeks ago. So what's happening is I have a client meeting and I need to list their emails in an Excel where each email is one line, right? So the first thing that comes to mind is I'm going to go to Outlook and I will just copy everything here, copy, and paste it in cell A1, right? But I don't have every email and it's complex to do the separation here with a formula. I'm not too sure how to do that. So what I will do, I will go here, A3, and I will type equal Copilot, open the parenthesis, open the quotation mark, and I will say extract the email addresses. And then I will reference A1 and it should give me a perfectly clean list, here we go, of my emails. Super quick, super handy. Oh, and by the way, why I needed this list of emails is to enroll these people in my online course, my Copilot Essentials from AI Beginner to Proficient course. You can access it at learncopilot.ai/masterclass. It's the best Copilot course in the market. Go check it out down there in the description below. Use case number 5 has to be one of my favorite. So what's going on right here? I have a list of messy vendors, you know, these colleagues that always mess these names up, and we have a clean list, right? And what we want is to transform all of these vendors into the real name of the vendors, which are right here, right? If we do a basic lookup function such as XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, it will not work because it's not matching exactly. So I'm sure you know what I'm going to do by now. I will use equal Copilot. So I position myself on cell B3 right here. And then I'm going to type in the formula right here that I have pre-written for you. So I will say standardize the name of these vendors. And then I will select my vendor here, Technova Solution. And I will say find the closest match in the reference list. And then I will select my list right here and I will press F4 to add the dollar signs and to lock the cells. And then I will show you what's going on. We're missing a tiny bit right here. I will press enter and you can see that it has found Technova Solutions. Super great. I'm going to drag down. And great, it works on the first time right here. But when I tried this in the past, it didn't give me the right result straight up. So what I want you to do is actually fine-tune your prompt. It's super important. I teach how to prompt in my free Copilot Jumpstart Toolkit. There is a how to prompt section that you can download right now for free. But what I will add right here is in the prompt, just add comma, nothing else, right? And this will fix it, right? So super basic. I just want you to remember from this example, be super, super precise with your prompt. Just a single word actually can make a difference. All right, the number 6, I am an accountant. I have worked with account receivable, and what we will ask Copilot to do is to do a sentiment analysis, right? So I'm going to position myself here on the column S, and I have some data. I have some invoices with the AR analyst comment, the last contact date, the promise to pay date, the status, etc. And we have a comment, right? So what I'm going to do, I will improvise with equal Copilot. I will say equal Copilot. And then I will open the parenthesis, open the quotation mark, and I will say, do a sentiment analysis based on this account receivable analyst comment. And then I will refer the comment. I will also add a comma. I will say, take into account the promise to pay date, considering that we are currently January 8th. 2026. And then I will reference the promise to pay date. And then I will leave it as is. There you go. So we have basic negative. Probably all of them will be negative. There you go. The comment indicates a cooperative tone. The sentiment is negative because, so Copilot explains. And then, you know, I'm just showing you what you can do, reference multiple cells in your formula right here. So what about we say, keep it super concise. It's going to make the sentiment analysis super concise. And here we go. All right, so I guess we are never getting paid here. This last use case is interesting. I had one of my clients, he was building some interview template in Excel, and then when they were interviewing, they will add their comments, their notes into Excel, right? So let's position myself here on cell A4, and I will write equal Copilot, open the parenthesis. We are going to interview this role. Then I will reference the role here in column B. Here we go. And I will press F4 to lock the cells. And then the second part of the prompt, I will say generate the most pertinent items for each of these columns. Here we go. And then I will reference A6 to C6, and I will press F4 to lock the cells. I will press enter, and you will see that Copilot will generate the question in category and skill, the question, and the strength required for this job interview. And then I can fill the rating, actually not 54, but out of 5 from my interview. That's super interesting. And basically, if I change, I can say, okay, it's not an accountant. It will be a human resources recruiter. There we go. It changed the question category here. Can you describe your approach to sourcing and attracting top talent? How do you handle salary negotiations with the candidates? Super interesting. But I want you to understand here. Look at that. The first line is just these things, always like duplicates, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to add something in our prompt. We will say, comma, do not include a header row, only return data rows, right? And that should solve the deal. As you can see, boom, they have disappeared, right? If you're new to Copilot in Excel and you want to learn more, including the agent mode, more equal Copilot use cases, and all of the feature, yes, even with the free version, you might want to watch this video right here. And if you want to learn more on Copilot, don't forget, I have my Copilot Masterclass and all of the cool things in the description below. I will catch you in the next video.